Hello everybody, it's Sue Ann Okerwall again, Course in Miracles video here. And this was another in the series on the true forgiveness process. I did an intro on this yesterday, and one of my friends asked to have me talk a little bit more about the script is written. This does fit into the forgiveness process. I would have to say two things about it. Number one, it's a metaphysical concept, and it is very much in phase 2. And I did a series of videos on the phases in the course. So in phase 2, we are aligning our beliefs with the metaphysical principles of the course, and we're learning about these. So this would be a thing where you would align your beliefs with it. You would basically read it, think about it, and intellectually and emotionally come to conclusion that it is probably right, or some version of it, at least until you get further information. And another friend of I always talk about shelving information and then taking down like that book, if you want to call it, like later of information that then makes more sense with more experiences that come later. So here we are talking about time, this whole thing. So I'm going to read you a little bit from the workbook lesson that the script is written comes out of. But what I also is going to tell you is that once you're in phase, say 3 and 4, and you're crossing the bridge and staying over there more and more, you will come to find out the beauty of the script is written. You will experience it as being so instead of just an intellectual concept, and it will help you in innumerable ways to understand all the rest of the metaphysical principles and exactly what you're experiencing on quote unquote the other side of the bridge, right? So we're not getting into that, over the bridge it is so different thing right today. But I am going to do, like I said, the script is written. So it is out of, anyway, this is my book that I've had probably since about 2014, and it got like really, really well marked and read lots of times and bookmarked, tabbed. I tabbed it because I saw that Ken Wapnick had done so. So anyway, now, there's so many tabs and so much underline that you don't really you're not able to absorb it all anymore. It's almost like the tabs don't mean anything anymore because there's just so many of them. But one thing I would say is that I recommend people get the actual book, because then you can search back and forth in there. A lot of people have the audio, and if they want to go back to another portion, they're unable to. It's really hard to scroll back and forth on an audio and find a part that you maybe wanted to hear again. A lot of other people, like I was talking to some people, and they may clean or vacuum or drive or whatever while they're listening, which is good. But I found that if you don't have undivided attention to look at this material, it's kind of like, what are you doing? It's not background music. But I mean, do it right. But then I think there comes a time when it's the right, appropriate thing to have a book and really be able to flip back and forth and only pay attention to that. Because when you're reading a book, you can't be doing other things, right? So anyway, lesson 158 in the workbook. I don't even know if this shows up coming the right way or it looks reversed, but who cares? Okay, so the script is written is actually in paragraph 4. The title of the workbook lesson is Today I Learn to Give as I Receive. So number 4, it says, time is a trick, a sleight of hand, a vast illusion in which figures come and go as if by magic. And I'm going to have to say that's a little tip of the hat to Macbeth, Shakespeare's Macbeth, Helen, and all the rest. Everybody loved Shakespeare, and it's almost like a little tip of the hat to that, because that is like almost a paraphrase line from the play. Anyway, so it says, you got this vast illusion. It says, yet there is a plan behind appearances that does not change. The script is written. When experience will come to end, your doubting has been set. For we but see the journey from the point at which it ended, looking back on it, imagining we are making it once again, reviewing mentally what has gone by. So the big thing to realize there is like there's no doing in this thing. It is all reviewing. So in another part of the book, which I didn't look up for this video, doing my research, right? But it does discuss about the tiny mad idea, the tiny tick of time when we thought of this idea to be separate from God, and we remembered not to laugh about it, which means that at first we did remember, but then we decided to like make it as if it was real, as if it really could happen, the impossible could happen, and something could break off from complete total oneness, pure oneness of innocence, and a little piece could break off and do something different, which obviously, even if you put it like that, it sounds impossible and ridiculous. So we laughed at it at first, but then we decided to let it play out as if it had real effects. So what could you do with a thing like that? It's going to blow out an entire thought, one entire thought, all complete, beginning, middle, end, done, filmed. The script is written, completed. Only reviewing is left to do. So in our right mind, it's as if we're sitting in a movie theater at the end of the movie, replaying it at different parts that we call our characters, our bodies, our situations, our life situations, that we call it that, as if we walked in on a movie and at a certain point in it, sat down, got so involved in the movie that we now think that it is all true, that that movie is actually happening. We are the characters in it, without any shadow of a doubt, or an adult, because we're a bunch of children, right? But anyway, so when you have this reviewing what has gone by, you are not doing anything. All the decisions are on the script. Everything is happening perfectly as already made. So I've talked to people recently about like the breadcrumbs that we left along the way to wake up. So all these things seem to be happening, our descent down the ladder, our ascent back up it, and then out. And when you're out, the entire movie is like done. You don't think about it again. It's done. But while you're reviewing the movie, you think you're in it, and you do actually see the parts where the waking up part was filmed already in the movie. Just like any good movie, from the beginning, the middle, the end. You walk out of the movie then, and you feel as if it had been a complete whole. Well, that is this entire experience of time and space, including multi-dimensions, aliens, other galaxies, other dimensions. It includes as if we reincarnate in Andromeda galaxy, reincarnate back here. Anything you can think of, any thought, emotion, complex that has been thought has formed some sort of a solid, and there is a part in the course that talks about that as well, that any of our thoughts has formed something. So these thoughts are actually already gone by and then replaying in our mind. So that is where we come to find ourselves eventually, like through the forgiveness process, that we feel as if we are in this right mind, observing everything that is happening. And this is one of the reasons why, like in the New Testament even, Jesus had said, like, do the birds worry about what they're going to eat? Do the flowers worry about what they're going to wear? I'm a terrible paraphraser and a terrible memorizer, but basically what the meaning behind that was that everything is actually already done. The Eastern philosophies talk a lot about it being preordained. They don't really get into the script is written idea. They don't really get into that, like, we made all this, and now we're reviewing it because we like it. So that is the thing that the Course brings that no other path has brought, is that we actually made this and we love it, and we made it on purpose. All the awfulness, all the death and the murder and serial killing, and like people come to me with all kinds of ideas of like, I'm watching all these things, and and I'm very heavily affected by all this. So all these things, it's as if we're sitting in some easy chair somewhere completely unaffected. What does the Course say? That not one Notes in Heaven song has been missed because we went off on this supposed journey, useless journey, as they call it, our last useless journey we'll finally come to. Oh my gosh, it's already at 10 minutes. But that is kind of like the whole culmination of what the script is written is about, and the positive aspects of it, and what's good in it for you, right? Okay. I'll do another one tomorrow. Bye-bye.